You read that correctly. Welcome to the Lucas and Jacob Reading Club. My name is Jacob and I know how to read. I'm 21 years old.
My name's Lucas and I'm a certified bookworm. Bookwormers unite. I'm 28.
We did a video reading Twilight and the top comment was, please read Diary of a Wimpy Kid next. It's so deep, it'll change your life.
Okay.
This comment could be a total joke. I mean, it is a total joke. They literally said it will change your life. Maybe it will. I won't. I mean, maybe I'm just a hater.
I'm gonna hope that they're being sincere, and this book does have like a hidden meaning. On the surface, it's just, a little kid book. What if this is like the key to everything?
Yes.
I have.
I did give a glance at the book, and most of it is actually comic, so I feel like it just is gonna be like watching SpongeBob or something.
It's literally the diary of a wimpy kid. Like this is the diary. You aren't hearing some third-person narrative. It's straight from his journal.
We're gonna read until the month of December, which is page 102. We're probably gonna be back tomorrow, but yeah, let's see what the next few hours has to offer. The next day, whatever it is.
Let's get to reading. Reading is fun.
So, if I'm gonna show these clips in the video, we probably should do voiceovers.
What am I supposed to say? I'm just reading the book by a bathroom. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Just like say something witty or something. I started reading the book on the park bench. I was just having a hoot and a holler. Doodaloo! Woohoo! We're back! Put that right here. Okay.
I'll just leave it.
No.
They don't care.
They do.
I moved it because I was touching my shoulder, but then...
It's the next day, and I personally, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of proud to say I finished half the book in a day. I'm pretty smart.
Literally took 20 minutes. Every page has like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, most of it is comics.
I did feel really accomplished. I'm like, I read 100 pages in like 20 minutes, but it's like, it's like a literal book for like 9-year-olds.
It was probably 20 pages worth of,
yeah.
Page of words.
Probably, yeah, actually 20 pages for sure.
I do have to say, why do I actually like this book still? I'm enjoying the experience.
I didn't remember that much about the book, but I do like it. What's the main character's name? Greg?
Yeah, Greg.
How he's like sort of like an indie guy. Like he's just not really like the other kids, you know? Like even like he sleeps in on Saturdays. Like he said like, yeah, I'm just like, he just like seems like not like the other preteens.
I wrote a bunch of notes for...
Why did I buckle up?
I was actually kind of wondering, but I was like, maybe you think like an asteroid's gonna hit us or something and it will help you. Maybe I was just really in like a let's discuss type mood when I was reading, but right away when we started reading, Greg, the main character, he says something along the lines of like, oh, it doesn't matter what I do in school because I'm gonna be famous one day.
Oh, I wrote that down too.
Can we talk about how just living life, I don't know when it started, but every single kid thinks they're just gonna be a superstar when they turn like 22.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok of a girl talking about this and it was so funny because she said,
I saw the same one.
Yeah, she said like my whole life I just have always thought I'm gonna be famous, but she said I've never worked towards it. Like I never have tried to be good at an instrument or act or sing. And she's like, now I'm like 25 and like I have in debt from college. We said like I still the crazy thing is I still think I'm gonna be famous, but like she said I'm not working any way towards it in any fact. But like you know what I mean? I think that is just like a universal human thing.
There's been so many movies and stuff that it just makes it seem like when I get older, I'm gonna be famous.
I feel like especially for people like my age and younger, because like all of the content for when I was a preteen was all about being famous, like Hannah Montana, Camp Rock, like all of it was like about like let's try to get famous and stuff, you know. And they always had the vibe of like I'm so good at singing, but like no one knows it yet because I'm too shy to tell everyone.
Just that storyline alone, like, kind of opened up this whole world for me. That was really deep.
Also, I took a note the very first page because he clarifies this is a journal, not a diary. Because, like, right off the bat, he has to let everyone know, like, I'm not gay. Because, like, diary's kind of gay, but journal's more, like, you know, masculine.
You want to just let everyone know, like, oh, yeah, like, I don't off with Mun.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
guys,
he made that
he's in
clear right
middle
away.
school.
Also, and on the first page, it shows an illustration of a bully beating him up for finding out he has a diary and calling him a sissy. But I actually like that because it sort of showcases like in middle school. I feel like that is sort of the age where like you start realizing all of like the expectations of society and like all of like the roles everyone plays. You know?
Yeah, I kind of wrote something similar to what you're saying. That Greg, the main character, is so insecure. But I like how this book, even though it's fiction, like the author actually went into a middle schooler's mind.
I know.
And so many middle schoolers are insecure. There's so many themes throughout the book of like he doesn't want people to find out this.
Oh, like everything is like pretty much like putting on a fake persona for the world. Because in middle school, I feel like that is when you realize like, okay, like can't like associate with certain people or like want to be in with this crowd. Like that's when all of that like sinks in.
Yeah, and then that's why you become insecure because you think too much about everything.
I know, literally. I guess the whole reason he even has a journal is because his mom wanted him to have one. To, like, write out his feelings. So, like, I feel like there's, like, a deeper thing where, like, he's, like, depressed or something. Like, why does his mom want him to, like, have a journal to write out his feelings? Like, he's, like, struggling.
Is that a universal mom thing, though? Because I feel like,
Mom never told me to get a journal.
well, like, I feel like moms always do ask, like, are you depressed? Are you sad? Is that something everyone experiences? Because there's been times where our mama said, like, are you sad? And I'm not sad. But it just seems like moms are more tuned into people's emotions than fathers, from my experience.
That's actually funny they put that in the book because that probably is like a joke saying how like, you know, how moms are like all worried about their kids' mental health, but like sometimes like he isn't even depressed or anything, but like he has to do a journal now because like his mom has just watched like a Dr. Phil episode about depressed preteens and now just assumes he is.
Okay, just to show how big this book's impact is, the cheese touch. During recess in elementary school, we actually did like the cheese touch.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
you guys actually did that?
There wasn't actually cheese on the ground, but usually we just played tag, like tag you're it. But then people changed it to the cheese touch. You have the cheese touch, I have the cheese touch. And I just found it crazy that this book started.
Oh my god.
This book like created trends.
Oh, that's crazy. I read on the cheese touch thing too because I think it was from like the movie trailer or something. I just remember that being like a big part of the movie, right? The cheese touch.
Yeah, I remember that too.
But also it made me think like tag in general. Like, do you think like back in the caveman days, like they also played tag and like, but somebody was it for like months on end or something?
Oh, and then
like it went like too far where they like so like you can't eat dinner with us and then like you know what I mean?
I could see
and, like,
that.
You're like it and it's like life or death.
I'm so glad we don't live in those days anymore.
Oh, I also wrote, older siblings living in the basement is, like, iconic. Because his older brother lives in the basement. I feel like that's a thing. Like, older siblings always, like, the basement is where they live, you know?
And his brother has a band. Like, it just is such, like, the most stereotypical older brother type thing,
I know. Because even in our family, like, the older siblings did move to the basement. No one was in a band for that.
I know, it kind of sucks.
Also, you know his, like, friend who he just, like, kind of hates, but, like, is friends with?
Oh, Ralia.
Oh, yeah, I said, like, it seems like in all these, like, types of, kid shows and, like, teen movies, there always is, like, the main character has a friend who's, like, a loser, but they're like, yeah, I just feel sorry for them, but, like, I don't actually, like, want to be friends with them, you know?
Oh, yeah, but you always get, like, this feeling of, like, oh, they're actually just friends, but they are insecure for being friends with the person that's not popular, so they have to make up a reason.
And if they say, like, yeah, like, I'm, like, better than this person, but, like, yeah.
Oh, something else that I want to say about the book, and I don't even know how to get this point across, but I feel like this book is in a way kind of edgy. Because we all know certain people in real life, and maybe you were like this growing up, where your mom didn't let you watch Wizards of Waverly Place, or didn't let you play violent games. This book pokes fun at those parents, and I thought it was kind of interesting because, like, the author isn't playing it safe. Because if you were playing it safe, you would kind of, like, make those parents feel welcome for their kids to read it, but he's kind of not, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, I feel like that's funny to comment on too, because that is a thing, like, different families and, like, the different, like, parental guidelines.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our family, it was, like, just out in the open, like, you can watch, like, any movie or anything, but, like, then you go to other people's...
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah, like, kill people on Grand Theft Auto, all that stuff. But then you go to other people's houses and, like, it's so uptight and stuff.
I know, it always was so interesting going to these friends' houses where their parents were, like, monitoring everything they did.
I know, and I remember, like,
they did.
One time I went home with, like, a friend after school, and, like, right when we got home, like, there was, like, a scheduled homework time, and I was like, I hate this. Like, just way too scheduled. Just, like, let me live. Oh, and then, Greg tries to run for student government. I feel like in middle school, like running for student government like is such a thing. Like, did that happen at your middle school?
Like, I don't know in middle school, but in elementary school it was kind of
Oh yeah, but it was so funny because I remember like when I like tried to become part of the student government in middle school, and then we all did speeches to try to convince people to vote for us, and everyone just made up shit. They would say like, I'm gonna make like the school lunches like way better, and like we're gonna be having like longer recesses and stuff. But it's like, bitch, you're not gonna have like any power. Just like straight up lies, you know?
But isn't it weird how that kind of is how actual politics are too?
Oh, yeah.
I suppose every person that's running for local government or like nationwide government says all this shit, but they never do it on either side of the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how like it reflects actual adults.
But I do remember this one girl, like, she did a speech in middle school and sort of said, like, I know this is all, like, a popularity contest, and, like, it's, like, she kind of, like, went against it, like, now thinking back, I'm like, she was the icon.
She was the moment.
I know, like, she didn't even get picked to be in, but, like, she just called up the whole system right away.
We're only halfway through the book, but yeah, I actually want to encourage everyone that's watching this video to, like, read a book that you read when you were a kid, or just a kid's book. I'm not talking just a picture book, but, like, it kind of puts you back into, like, this little kid mindset, and just interesting looking back at your childhood and, like, comparing it. It is kind of, like, therapy.
I'm enjoying it.
But we still have another 100 pages to go, so...
Oh, yeah. It could all go to shit.
A lot of things could change. And we're also going to watch the movie, I think. So, like, we're going to do a compare and contrast thing.
See how they, like, portrayed it?
A little... What is that graph called? Oval graph?
Oh, Venn diagram?
Yeah, Venn diagram. Walking and reading. It was actually pretty difficult because there was this pickup truck that was doing donuts by Lucas's vehicle. So then, like, we were like, wait, is he, like, trying to flirt with us or something? And I was like, I know, like, everyone wants to have sex with me, but, like... But, you know, like, it was just, like, I don't know, it was just, like, interesting.
I also read the book by the lake, and I have this thing where I always have to do multiple things at once, so I started getting in cardio as well. Working on the glutes. Get my heart rate up. Yeah, do not tell me you don't have enough time in a day. Honey, you can fit it all.
All I can say is if anyone wants a free yearbook, they can dig one out of the trash can in the back of the cafeteria. Popcorn, Lukey.
You know, Rowley can have class clown for all I care. But if he ever gets too big for his britches, I'll just remind him that he was the guy who ate the... Then it has 4 blank letters. Because he ate the cheese. And that's the end!
We missed the acknowledgement. I think it's time to watch the movie then.
Let's do it.
Remember how I said Rowley was a middle school ready?
So, we're gonna divide you up into 2 teams. So you two, over here, you, this way.
What are you doing hiding? Avoiding the pain. It all starts in middle school, you know? Breathing very carefully.
We're still watching the movie.
It's so good.
As you can see, I'm smiling. That means I'm happy. We have 5 minutes to write a comparison essay between the movie and the book. It turns out we don't even need 5 minutes. I'm already done.
I finished a long time ago.
This is the end of the beginning.
What's at the beginning of? I'm like not reading another book of Wimpy Kid.
It's the beginning of a lifetime. I'll read my essay first. This movie had similar storylines to the book, but they added more girth to them to make it more long form.
Girth?
Why does everything have to be about penises with you?
Oh, I wasn't even talking about it. I was saying that I was just commenting on the word choice.
The movie also had extra bits that weren't in the book. For example, Chloe Moret's character wasn't featured in the book, but it was a good idea for her to be in the movie because she added a lot. In short, the movie is totally different from the book. I would say that the book was doing well, so they thought to make a movie of it and added a bunch of shit. Both were good. Also, Roderick looks like Chris Jenner. I just don't get why they didn't cast Cristiano if they were gonna have him look like Cristiano. In my
That's what
personal
is funny.
opinion.
So yeah, the movie was pretty fun. It took a lot of the iconic parts of the book and put them in a more organized order for a film type of format. So yeah, it was pretty lit, I would say.
So yeah.
The characters were all pretty much how I pictured them to be. The older bully brother was literally perfect. Like, he looks so much like an asshole older brother. You dig? The parents or whatever. The bitchy girl at school with the pigtails was my fave character. Yeah, all in all, loved it. And it was super different from the book. Just different enough to keep it Oh, and it wasn't. That's what I meant to say. It wasn't super different from the book. Just different enough to keep it interesting and stuff. And very much a Mean Girls vibe. Like, they added a cafeteria scene about like all little different groups, like in Mean Girls. And they even added a Janice Ian type character. And Chloe Moretz played it.
Thank you for your solace. I guess the only thing we differed on was like, you said the movie was similar to the book, and I was kind of going with the vibe was like, the movie's a whole different thing than the book.
They took all the iconic parts of the movie and just reordered it to make it more sense for a movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, from the book, and then they reordered it.
Like for the most part, like it was pretty much the book. You know what I mean? Just pieced together to make a movie.
Since we finished the book, I have a few notes. Like, something that I put down is Greg is an ultra manipulator.
Yes.
And since this is kind of a popular term, I'll use it. Sociopath, but obviously he's not a sociopath. There's so many kids that are like this.
I might say he is.
You do?
I also wrote down, like, he's just a jackass. Like, he's so rude to his best friend. Finally, you get the justification as the audience. The best friend learns his self-worth. And once he dumps Greg's annoying ass, he thrives. He shoots straight to the top. He's like the new newspaper comic person. Like, Greg was just dead weight holding him down with his negativity.
And not to be deep, but with the movie and the book, this actually translates to adult life too, because I swear there's people out in that situation as adults. And also, at the end of the movie, everyone hates Greg, and in the book, because he got the cheese touch. And it kind of reminded me that this isn't only about middle school, it's about actual life, because a lot of people can hate you just because it's cool to hate you. So like, if you live in a town of 500 people, maybe it's cool to hate you in that town, but they only hate you because it's cool to hate you.
Yeah, that's for sure true. And also, it goes to the weird paradox of if you care so much about being cool, you're gonna end up flopping so hard, whereas Rowley, the friend who's just being all jolly, he's just living his life and he thrives because he's just being natural, whereas Greg is saying, okay, you have to wear this, you can't talk like this, you can't do this because it's not cool. Like, it's like, you kind of just kill his character off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's annoying at a certain point.
Yeah, it's just this little kid who overthinks everything, is so judgmental, like, hate him.
This might sound weird, but I was thinking this so much during the book. Somehow it got brought up earlier when we were watching the movie, because we were literally talking the whole movie.
I know, we actually were.
No, I honestly, but the author wasn't even trying to give this off. But I swear, Greg reminds me so much of a gay guy who's trying not to act gay. And now, he probably isn't even aware of it because he's in middle school, but there's so many parts where he's trying to not act gay, but if he acted like how he actually wanted to act, he would be stereotypically acting gay.
Oh yeah.
And it just makes me think like, maybe when he's an adult, he will be gay.
Because
will come out as gay.
The one time I thought that, in the beginning of the book, he said, it's so annoying now that we're in middle school, the other guys are friends with the girls, but I've always been friends with the girls. And I was like, oh, like, always been friends with the girls. Like, that was so me in elementary school. Like, when all the guys were like, girls are gross. Like, I was like, oh, they're so lit and fun, like, playing on the monkey bars with them.
I thought he was gonna come out when he said that.
Such like a gay thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, stereotypically. Do not come for us.
But stereotypes are easy too.
Also, so funny, my first note is he abused his friend.
I trying to make everything a Twitter moment, trying to cancel Just Kitty.
Because he emotionally abuses his friend the whole time.
I know, I should feel bad for that bitch.
Also, I did relate to his sociopath vibes when he wanted to have a cast so everyone would feel bad for him. That's such a thing. Like, I remember being in middle school, I was so jealous of these kids with broken legs and stuff because it just is such a vibe going to school with a cast. And then also I wrote down school assemblies. That was another part. It was just like, oh, like it's funny, like those school assemblies that like some girl comes in and she says, yeah, like my whole life I was so insecure, like you guys shouldn't be. Remember there was one time where like I was at a school assembly where they literally said, walk in someone else's shoes, and they said, no, actually, like put their shoes on. But it's like, oh, I still don't, you know what I mean? It doesn't really change anything. Now I just am wearing their gross shoes.
I remember there was one about everyone's wearing a mask. And that one did kind of stick with me, to be honest. Because it was basically saying that people that act tough, they're just wearing a mask because they think they have to act tough to, like, pursue whatever they want to act like. And
can't trust anyone.
I'm gonna go with the book. I love the movie, but I'm just going with the book because it resonates more with me because I remember when I was a kid being obsessed with the book more than the movie.
Yeah, I actually do like the book more. I feel like the book, it had more just like, it's almost funnier in a way, you know? Like I could see what the author was doing with like the little like just laughing at how the middle school mentality, you know?
Yay!
So we're gonna take a quiz to see if we understood it or what?
Yeah, because I don't know what it was called where you guys went or where you went, but when me and Lucas went to school, well, it was called AR tests.
Mm-hmm.
And
accelerated reading.
yeah, you can go first.
Oh shit, it's like going, oh actually I do remember. It goes with like specific character names, but then I remember the name.
Excuse me. I had tuna for lunch.
Oh, I got an 87%.
That's pretty
Beat
good.
that.
So you missed like 2 questions?
I guess so. Frankie Grande got married. I just saw on Twitter.
For real?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing pretty good. I don't like how you're looking at me like acting like I'm so dumb or something.
Oh my god, I feel like you're so dumb.
You just had that vibe. Or maybe I'm doing projection. I don't fucking know. My brain. Okay, I'm submitting my answers. I got a 93%.
Oh my, you beat me! Oh, you comprehended it more. I guess I was just reading it and just thinking of other things.
I'm glad to know that if I was in elementary school right now, like, I'd get a good grade in English. Both of us would.
I would get a B, which isn't that good. It's the first loser.
You could still get into Harvard.
No. That was a lovely book club moment.
I've probably articulated this many times throughout the video, but I actually enjoyed it. Did you actually enjoy it?
I actually did enjoy it. First of all, I liked how reading the book was such a small commitment. You could read the whole book in an hour.
For sure.
So it doesn't take up much time, and also, yeah, just reminds you of middle school, all the funny things, you know?
In the beginning of this video, we said, like, we're gonna find out the deep meaning of the book.
I feel like we
they
did.
solve anything? And I kinda, yeah, what would you say the deep meaning is?
I feel like we kind of dove into it, how, like, you could try to fit into society, but then sometimes the more you try, the more you don't fit in with society.
The middle school mentality in a certain, like, never goes away, so just briefly spirited, like Lucas just said.
Yeah, that's true. It actually never does, because no matter where you go next,
There's
like,
always gonna be some judgy bitch.
Yeah.
Put in the comments if we should read another book, and, you know what? Eat an enchilada for dinner. Bye.
Bye!